Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events. Can you believe this? Another winter storm. We were talking about it last weekend, and here it comes on Wednesday. Recording this Monday, March 2nd at about 8 a.m., and I'm going to go over everything for you from A to Z, the GFS, the European model, what I think may happen, the questions I have, everything you need to know about this. For those of you who are sick of the snow, there's a poll, by the way, on the right side of the blog. For if you are sick of the snow, I have some good news. I think we're going to catch a break as we head after the snowstorm. I think we're going to get a break. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say winter's over, but I think things are going to improve drastically to where we don't get these snow and ice events every few days. But we have to get through this. Now, here's the thing I really want you, and I'll get to this in just a second. But first, I'm showing the area, and this is going to change. The amounts I'm not sold on just yet. This is the highest potential for significant snow and sleet. You may see some snowfall maps floating out there that say raw model data, and that's just not the case with a lot of snowfall. Those are algorithms that are actually used to these snowfall maps from the European and the GFS. That actually take into account anything frozen falling that includes sleet and adds it up to just these ginormous amounts. You know, I can forecast this all I want, but there's only one person in control that knows exactly what's going to happen. So who knows? Maybe it's right. You may hear some noise. That's my son sitting next to me playing with Legos, doing this out of my home office. Anyway, so winter storm watch. Sorry, that's grainy there. But anyway, a winter storm watch is in effect for much of the Channel 7 viewing area. That's in effect until... that's in effect Wednesday and into early Thursday morning. And I like to do now the milk and bread sandwich scale. And the reason why, even though we have a winter storm, I'm only going to give it 4 milk and bread sandwiches on Wednesday. I think Wednesday may be a rotten day for travel, right? But how many milk and bread sandwiches can you eat in one day? That's funny, Preston. It's my 3-year-old. That's funny. But the reason, because if you read at the bottom, due to the higher sun angle in March, snow and ice on the road should melt rapidly, and I spelled rapidly right there. Thursday and Friday. Got the wrong one, but anyway, you get the point. All right, I want to go to the GFS here, and I am going to show you the European. And again, this is going to change, but I'm going to show you the forecasting quandaries here. This is late on Tuesday, where we're going to have temperatures warm up ahead of the front. You can see the front right there producing rain and thunderstorms. The thunder may roll. And the lightning strikes. Wednesday morning. Now, this is the GFS. I want to point this out that the GFS is a lot quicker bringing in the colder air and the precip. The NAM, the North American model, is much slower, but is speeding up with each and every run, hold on, Preston, which is speeding up in each and every run. And trying to match that of the GFS. So it's speeding up the arrival of the cold air. You see the 32-degree line in red right there. That's sleet and then snow up there. We're still rain. So you may wake up according to this data, you may wake up on Wednesday morning and it's just, Todd, where's all that snow and ice you said? Well, it may be just rain, but then look what happens between 6 a.m. and noon. You get an area of freezing rain, and this makes sense because if you get a northeasterly wind that pushes the cold air down, so you get the 32-degree line, this isotherm bending, and that's very typical for it to happen, just like that across the eastern and southeastern portions of the state, and then it comes back up towards the Ouachitas. So this makes a lot of sense in this situation with an area of high pressure moving in from the northeast, and then snow across northern Arkansas. So this is the difficulty we have in predicting how much we're going to have, because some of this is going to be sleet. And then by Thursday, notice how it transitions from rain to freezing rain to sleet, and then it starts to transition to snow. So this is a typical Arkansas slushy. I think we're going to have all forms of precipitation. You'll go from rain to freezing rain to sleet. Some places may skip the freezing rain, but to sleet and then to snow. Here it is by between 6 p.m. and midnight on Thursday. Sleet across southern Arkansas, and then it's tapering off across the north, and we're holding on to a little bit of snow. Now, I'm going to show you snowfall amounts here, but I just want everybody to understand, do not take this literally. The sleet is factored into it, but let me go back here. What I'm thinking is, it's showing us here where there could be a band of heavier snow and sleet. I would not forecast these amounts. Southern Arkansas, I think a lot of this is sleet, and it's not going to be that much. Now, let me show you something that's a little bit more realistic, possibly. This is the the European model, and this is late on Tuesday. There's here we go. All right, now this is the European, maybe a little bit of a compromise between the GFS and the NAM as far as timing. This is at noon. I think it's going to be here a little bit faster than this, actually. But this purple area is showing ice, freezing rain. Then you get a band of sleet, and then you get a band of snow. So this is going to move from north to south. And I want to thank Euroweather.com for giving us access to this. And then by, this is at 6 p.m., you have ice, sleet, snow. So notice how that transition comes further towards the south, and it keeps southern Arkansas rain until Wednesday night, and then you get ice, sleet, snow, and then Thursday morning you still have snow. So this is a little slower holding on to the precipitation compared to the GFS, and you got ice all the way down to Louisiana, Mississippi, and then things start to taper off by the noon hour. And this is let me show you the let me see if I can run the total. No, I don't want period snow. Run total snow. Okay, this is the European, and again, this is what I'm talking. Don't look at these amounts and say, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to get 7 inches." It's just picking up on a swath of, and the GFS is doing this too, and the European right through central and northeastern and eastern Arkansas. So we'll have to watch. This is Monday. Things are going to change, but maybe an area of heavier snow. Don't look at those amounts because I think sleet will be factored into some of this. But we're, only one person knows. It's, how this is going to unfold. So that's just the way I see things playing out right now. I do think that we're going to have at least one more good snow and ice event come through here. Let me go back here. Come on. There we go. And see, this is late in the day on Wednesday, and you see the sleet here, the snow, and then this is at Thursday morning, and it's pushing it off towards the south, whereas you saw the European holding it on a little bit longer. Now, I think amounts can exceed 4 inches in some locations. I do think that's very possible. I am not going to go out with specific accumulations at this time. I will on Tuesday, maybe late today, but more likely on Tuesday. I think the school con index will be in full force. I think there's a very good chance many schools and administrators may have a tough choice here because, in my opinion, if this all comes to fruition and happens, it's not so much of a tough choice, but you may wake up on Wednesday morning and the roads are just wet and it's just rain, but then you run into the problem where everything starts to turn to ice and snow during the day, and then everybody's trying to rush home at the same time. That's a situation you don't want. So this is, for school administrators, especially across central and southern Arkansas, it's going to be an anticipation call for schools to be closed, because you don't want your kid to be at school at 10 or 11 o'clock or noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it just starts snowing and ice and roads go from wet to rotten in a matter of minutes. And then you're sitting there stuck in traffic, can't get your kid. That's the type of situation that school administrators are going to probably try to avoid, but I'm glad I'm not in their shoes. Anyway, thank you very much for coming to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events.